lawlessness, crime, homelessness, police giving up.
And the whole video essentially boils down to, if you come to Oakland, your car will get broken into. So just keep that in mind. Now, in the beginning of the video, we see Tyler at a gas station, and we can hear overhead this audio playing.
The owner of this property is not responsible for any theft or vandalism.
Now, if you're at a gas station and they're playing that overhead, it's gotta be pretty bad with the car break-ins. So we see Tyler vlogging around, and then we see the next shot of this Kia. And if we look on the...
Damn. Where are speakers playing this? I feel like I've never heard this in my life before. Is it like this in Oakland? It's a rough place, guys. Careful.
dash, you can see a PS5 with a PS5 controller. Why would someone leave a PS5
Can you tell me you love me, or do I have to super chat? I love you. Ofek Baron Holes.
on their dash at the gas station where they're overhead playing? Your car's gonna get broken into. But let's continue on. Now, in the next shot, we see the same Kia. And if we look on the dash, we can see that same PS5 and the controller. Now, why would Tyler be filming this from far away? Maybe Tyler was trying to bait someone into breaking into this car. That seems like a crazy theory. How could we know that that's Tyler's car? Well, later on in this video, Tyler gets a parking ticket.
While the police may not do anything if you break into someone's car, commit grand theft auto, steal an ATM, or beat and rob an old lady on the street, if you park on the side of the street and don't pay the meter, you will be fined and punished.
We got a $61 parking ticket.
And he complains that, wow, people could break into cars and do drugs, but I get a parking ticket. Well, if you look at that parking ticket a little closer, oh, we can see it's the same license plate that is on the car at the gas station. So Tyler went to the store, bought a PS5, put it on the dash, left his car out, and hid out in a little bush trying to capture someone breaking into his car. Tyler is baiting someone into breaking into his car to try to capture it on footage. Because what would make the ultimate footage for Tyler? Oh my god, I went to Oakland, California, and the break-ins are so bad that my car got broken into. And clearly, no one broke into it, because who would be dumb enough? Clearly looks like some kind of cop sting operation shit. This is like levels.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't you want to park like in a parking lot outside like a Target, like in an unlit area, or like on the side of a street? Are people, I guess maybe they could, like breaking into windows in like brightly lit gas station things where the guys were, I guess maybe that seems like a spooky place to steal shit from people on, but I don't know.
Of like,
I guess maybe you could go up and try the door, because you can just reach in and take it and run.
Prank video times 10. But when you're trying to pass this off as actual news footage, on the ground journalism, I would say that's not something a truthful journalist would do. And after catching this right here, it really made me think, could I seriously trust anything in Tyler's videos? Is this something that a investigative journalist would do, leave a PS5 in one of the highest car breaking areas in the fucking country? I don't think so. Like, what the fuck? Like, and Tyler still used this footage. That's what blows my mind. And didn't think anyone would find this. Like, look at that. It is a PS5 combo package deal with the controller on the dash. How fucking dumb are you? Like, Tyler went to Best Buy and was considering, like, could I just get the PS5?
Did PS5s really not come with controllers? Did he have to throw an extra controller on the dashboard? Like, play with your friends if you steal this shit? Get an accomplice so you can both have fun?
No, I should get the PS5 and the controller. Someone would definitely break into a car for the controller as well. So, throughout the rest of this video, just think about this. This is how far Tyler's willing to go to make a good story.
We've YouTubeified traditional news and documentarian content, basically.
Oh wait, but nobody did anybody at least break into his car? At least he got the story, right? He didn't include all this and like not even have a break-in, right?
You bought the controller. Why would you buy the controller? So let's go to Tyler's video, Oakland, where every crime is legal. Now, Tyler's video started out with him flying to the place, checking it out, talking to both sides, and he'll intersperse news clips or relevant news footage of these events happening in that city.
With 1 every 30 residents having their car stolen last year, 38% increase in robberies, 23% increase in burglaries, and 44% increase in motor vehicle theft.
Because frankly, when Tyler goes to these places, it's not as bad as he always wants it to be. So by Tyler showing all these news clips, it could seem way worse than what it really is. Now, Tyler's passing this along as actual information, and this is actually how the city is. Now, these news clips are always from the city that Tyler's in. Or are they? In this Oakland video, Tyler brings along this prestigious reporter, Darren Stalcup.
I met up with Bay Area native and investigative journalist Darren Stalcup to hit the streets and see what's really going on in Oakland.
Tyler shows clips of him going on Fox News, that he's been all around town investigating the homeless crisis within Oakland, California. Now, this guy isn't a journalist. He's actually a used car salesman who pulled a $7,000 GoFundMe scam a couple months earlier. This guy isn't a journalist. He's actually a used car salesman.
Well, listen, anybody can be a journalist.
Who pulled a $7,000 GoFundMe.
Help Darren move from the Tenderloin. It's with a heavy heart that I'm saying goodbye to my apartment in the Tenderloin. I can no longer live in a neighborhood where I'm constantly tripping over bodies, fecal, and needles. Our community has become uninhabitable. This is a humanitarian crisis. My apartment has been broken into multiple times. All of the stores have been ransacked. Living in the Tenderloin has been a traumatizing experience, and it is time to move. However, things are tough, and moving is difficult. He needs $10,000 to fucking move? Okay, Jesus.
Scam a couple months earlier.
I talk a lot about right-wing grifters in my videos, but this week...
Also, I would say, was that really a scam? I mean, it sounds like the guy's just begging for money to move. It's like pretty honest. It seems like, I don't know if I would call it a scam, unless he didn't even move, but...
Hosted one that was so lazy. I'm honestly kind of impressed. This guy, Darren Mark Stalcup, is trying to raise $10,000 to move from the Tenderloin neighborhood of San Francisco to another neighborhood in San Francisco.
I'm currently looking at the Chinatown neighborhood, but I'm open to other districts as well.
And it's actually working. I looked into this guy a little more, and he has another GoFundMe, also for $10,000, but this one is trying to achieve world peace. So either world peace is like a lot cheaper than I thought, or, and far more likely, he just wants $10,000.
But let's continue on. So the used car salesman's riding around with Tyler, and all of a sudden he brings up how he's seen kids as young as 7 years old walking around with guns in Oakland. Now that sounds pretty wild. Tyler then shows this news clip on screen.
I don't know why we're being followed when there's no doubt criminal activity left, right, and center.
A lot of the kids have guns now, so when I'm walking around, I'm not looking for some 25-year-old guy with a gun. I'm
15-year-olds out here?
I'm looking for 7-year-olds with guns.
So when the reporter brings up kids with guns in Oakland, Tyler intersplices a news clip of a teen in trouble that we're led to believe is from Oakland. Because frankly, Tyler doesn't see the kids with guns, so he's got to show news clips to prove that this is actually happening. But what if I was to tell you that this news clip he shows as evidence isn't from Oakland, but from Miami, Florida, 2 years ago? But Tyler...
This is always, okay, when people lie about this, this is always what makes me wonder if, like, are we totally fabricating a problem? Like, there must be problems. Why not just talk about the problems that actually exist? Why do you have to make shit up? It's like when people talk about, like, all the illegals that are killing innocent Americans, and then they bring up Laken Riley or whatever over and over again. Like, hold on. Why? There must be somebody new who's dead by now that we could talk about. If there are all these illegals killing all these Americans, shouldn't we have, like, another mascot? Like, do we really have to go back and yank the Laken Riley chain over and over and over again? There must be somebody else. Certainly somebody. Just like statistically speaking.
Tyler passes it off as this is what's happening in Oakland. Even though we can't see the kids with guns, we'll just take his word for it. Teen in trouble. Sounds really bad. But let's continue on. Maybe this is just a little mistake. So Tyler and Darren are talking to a business owner, and they bring up all of the machine guns that are in Oakland, and that's why crime is up. It is so horrible up there. Oakland is so bad that people have machine guns and they're walking around. Mind you, it's California. Like, the gun laws are insane here. And then Tyler shows this clip, a scary black man with machine gun manhunt in the corner.
I believe it's necessary for law-abiding citizens to have the means and capability to defend themselves. As you know, all the criminals out here have guns.
Oh my God. Fuck. Wait, this is like barely related. Does anybody have, I feel like I watched a video on Twitter yesterday, or was this on my subreddit, where there's a guy in Australia and he's asking like 2 women over and over again, like, why are you guys afraid to walk on the streets? And they're like, because we don't want to get mugged. And they're like, by who? And they're like, men. And like, what kind of men? Scary men. What do they look like? They're tall. and he asked it over and over again until finally he was like, the women left, and then he talks to the other guy. It's like, it's because of black people, right? And he's like, yeah, Africans. It's like, okay. It was Rome, no? Was it? I don't remember where it was. I feel like I saw this. That's the Tyler Oliveira Poland video. Oh, is it? Oh, link it if you have it.
So I have no problem with you.
Machine guns?
And we're led to believe this is actually happening in Oakland. But this clip isn't from Oakland. It's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Once again, Tyler is literally making shit up to push a narrative. And this is in nearly every video Tyler releases. Let's go to Tyler's video where he goes to Memphis, the most violent city in America. In the beginning, Tyler shows this clip of 2 scary black men robbing
Oh, wait, no, never mind.
a car in a gas station. And we're led to believe this is from Memphis.
This is Memphis, the most violent city in America.
But it's not. It's from Chicago PD. And Tyler even goes out of his way to cut out the Chicago PD in the upper right-hand corner.
Jesus. Shameless.
So Tyler...
Wait, it was this. Okay.
Where are you from?
Rome, Italy, yeah.
Do you feel safer as a woman?
Yes, yeah.
Do you feel safe in Rome as a woman? Or Italy? Sorry.
No, not at all.
Why?
It's not safe.
Why is it not safe?
Because we don't feel safe, like walking alone at night.
Who are you afraid of at night?
Like men.
Which men? Men in general, or specific types of men who come from different places?
Like men.
Italian men?
Yeah.
Okay. They don't need it. They don't need it. They can buy their own. Why do you think they feel unsafe in Rome? Let's be honest.
Because of Africans. They are afraid to say so.
Where are you from?
Okay.
Deliberately knew what he was doing. Now, normally I wouldn't really care about this type of thing, but Tyler is using all of these violent images and video to pass off a narrative that these places that he visits are so horrible. And it's really being used to just make up shit about the city. Because frankly, it's not as bad as he wants it to be. And when you're at the point of having to use random news footage to sell off this narrative...
That guy is the Polish president, by the way. Okay.
I would say that's not really the unbiased truth or investigative journalism. But it doesn't end there with Tyler. In his video, I investigated the gun violence capital of America, aka Chicago, Tyler shows this clip when the man's talking about petty theft in Chicago.
All the crime down here is just like petty theft, breaking into cars, go to a certain neighborhood.
Now, petty theft is non-violent.
Like, another reason why this is annoying, I've said this a million times, is because I think that we can, we can all agree, we can't all agree because we don't all live in these environments, but it seems to be the case that in San Francisco and in California in general, there was an issue with people downplaying at the very least shoplifting, if not other forms of petty crime. This was a huge issue, and it seems like it was denied for a long time. Everybody tried to deny it. When you listen to Sam Cedar or Hassan Piker talk about it, they'll say like, oh no, the shoplifting is all fabricated by evil capitalists, and they'll point to shoplifting numbers. But then the store owners say like, well, we just don't report it. There was the, I need to save this story. The shoplifting rates had either stayed the same or had fallen in San Francisco. And then I think like a single target, and the store owner said that we just stopped calling the police because they don't do anything. And the guys have already left and we can't hold them or whatever. And then I think in one Target, they installed like a security button in one Target in the city. And I think that the reported shoplifting for the entire city doubled in that 1 month because of this one store that was reporting every event. I thought it was Target. Was it Walgreens? Oh, it might have been this. This was in, was updated November 27, 2021. I think that's around when it was published. Nice! You can probably bring up a million clips of Sam Cedar and Hassan making these exact same arguments. Hassan did it, I think, again during Jenksgiving or whatever, or to Jenk, where he's like, no, that was just capitalists lying about it. As San Francisco remains locked in a fierce debate over how best to respond to crime, shoplifting has become one flashpoint of the battle, dividing people across sharp political lines. But crime experts say the data required to accurately measure shoplifting is woefully inadequate. There is no better example of the problem than the shoplifting data kept by the San Francisco Police Department. Starting in January of 2018, reported shoplifting incidents are relatively consistent at about 250 per month. They dip sharply when the pandemic begins, and then begin to sharply increase as the city reopens, and then in September of 2021, they inexplicably double. A closer look at the data shows that the spike in reported shoplifting came almost entirely from one store, the Target at 789 Mission Street in the Metrion Mall. In September alone, 154 shoplifting reports were filed from the south of Market intersection where the Target stands, up from 13 in August. And then in October, the reports from this intersection went down again to 17. What happened to this particular Target? Did the store see a huge spike in shoplifting in September? No, said store manager Stacey Abbott. The store was simply using a new reporting system implemented by the police that allows retailers to report crime incidents over the phone. When asked whether shoplifting reports had decreased again in October, Abbott said that she wouldn't be able to answer any more questions and directed the Chronicle to the police department as well as Target's media team, which did not answer questions either. Officer Robert Riuka, a police spokesperson, Reka, I don't know. So the new reporting system is accessible to other businesses and individuals on weekdays, not just the Target. He did not respond to questions about how long the system had been in place or whether the department had seen an increase in shoplifting incidents from other stores since the system's implementation. Though the spike seen in the data generates more questions than answers, one thing is clear. A single, albeit large and busy, store's decision to report a majority of its shoplifting incidents doubled the entire city's monthly shoplifting rates. But yeah, this is not good, not okay, not good. But then, like, it's annoying because you can't... Because now we're not talking about this. Now we're talking about, like, 7-year-old shooters. It's just so cringe. Whatever.
Crime down here is just like petty theft, breaking into cars, go to certain neighborhoods.
Now, petty theft is non-violent theft that is under $500. It isn't some burglary or mugging or whatever. But while this guy's talking about petty theft, Tyler then shows this clip to almost disprove the guy. Like, wow, he's talking about petty theft, but clearly there's 4 black men robbing a car in the middle of Chicago. That sounds pretty wild. But once again, this clip isn't from Chicago. It's from Houston, Texas, 40 years ago. I can do this all day long. Tyler makes up shit to fit his narrative. And when that narrative is being used as the unbiased truth or journalism, I would say that's pretty bad, in my opinion. But let's just continue on. Or let's go to Tyler's video. I investigated the murder capital of America, New Orleans. Now, Tyler's talking about living a life of crime, and he shows this clip on screen.
A lot of people die due to gun violence. With murders happening every day, countless kids are left without strong parental figures, get raised by the streets, live a life of crime, have a few...
Wow, a black man just shooting someone in the middle of the day? Oh my God, New Orleans is absolutely horrible. But that clip literally says it's from New York. That is how lazy Tyler is with his content. He is just taking random...
This isn't lazy either. People need to use better words. This is not lazy. This is just lying. You can't have B-roll footage of things that aren't even in the city that appear to align with like what you're talking about, right? Imagine if I'm saying that like fathers in Alabama treat their daughters horribly, and I show like a clip of like a mass rapes report or something, but it ends up that that clip is just like from a town in Nigeria or like media in like Indonesia or something. It's like, well, I mean, it was just B-roll, bro. It's not related to what's being said on screen. Like, that's just wild. Thoughts on Aldi acquiring Winn-Dixie? Infinitely inferior to Publix in my opinion, but still sad to see Euro slurs agglomerating American business. I don't know anything about Aldi or Winn-Dixie. Fuck both of those places. They sound cringe.
Random violent imagery, putting it in his videos and trying to sell it off as this is the truth.
Our goal is simply to educate, inform, and entertain, and hopefully do all 3 at once. We're boots on the ground, as they say. Balls deep, trenches thick.
Is this really what a journalist would do? Let's go to Tyler's Sweden video. Sweden, inside the country that pays immigrants $34,000 to leave. Now in this video, Tyler's interviewing a Muslim activist, and Tyler asked the question, is Islam's values maybe not compatible with Sweden?
Islam conflicts with Swedish society and Swedish law.
And while the lady goes into Islam and all these other countries, when Tyler goes to the part of her talking about Islam in Sweden, Tyler shows this video on screen.
The way someone see Islam in
Oh shit, I remember this.
About Islam in Sweden, Tyler shows this video on screen.
The way
you have to go, I don't remember what the cities to the south are though, but you have to go really far south to see this shit in Sweden. It's pretty crazy. Fuck, what's the name of the... Fuck, I should remember that. Sweden is burning because of this one fucking city that they always cite. Malmo. This is in Malmo, I think, right here.
Someone see Islam in Afghanistan or in Somalia or in Iran or in Sweden is obviously different.
And we're led to believe, wow, while this lady is talking about
Iran, or way someone see Islam in Afghanistan or in Somalia or in Iran or in Sweden is obviously different.
And we're led to believe, wow, while this lady is talking about Islam being peaceful, they are protesting. Oh my God, and there's an ISIS flag. Clearly that isn't just a peaceful protest, they have ISIS flags in Sweden. But once again, this clip isn't from Sweden. It's from motherfucking Malaysia. And I can do this all goddamn day long, Tyler. It's nearly in all of your videos you are passing this off as the truth. Because frankly, when Tyler goes to these places, it's not as bad as he wants it to be.
Just trying to get like some news on social media. So you have some idea, or do you want to get detained for obstruction?
I think you get detained. Am I under arrest? If so, for what charges?
Harassment.
You're gonna arrest me right now?
So you're being detained, sir.
Whoa. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Are you going to identify yourself or not?
Okay, I'm on public property.
Are you going to
you can't strong arm me. We're going to court over this if you want.
And once again, I would just, let me be clear. Is this what a really thorough investigative journalist would do? Be so lazy with the content that they make that they're just throwing in random news clips of, as we've seen right now, only black guys committing crimes, all to amplify the video and make it seem as horrible as possible. Is that what a journalist would do? I don't think so. Now, I know Tyler is intentionally doing this because I backchecked a lot of his videos, and a lot of the news clips are from the city that Tyler's in. And these are just a few of the examples that I found. But trust me, it takes a hell of a lot of time trying to backsource like where these news clips are from, especially when Tyler doesn't show the title or link any sources in his videos. So this is just a few that I found. I can't even imagine how many more there are. Now, beyond using random news clips as actual evidence of all of these cities falling apart, what about the other lies Tyler has in his videos? Now, let's go to his one video. Tyler investigates the murder capital of the world, Jamaica. Now, Tyler makes it a point that it is so dangerous here. It's the murder capital of the world.
This is Jamaica, the murder.
Oh God, I already know which clip this is going to be. It's going to be of the guy in the store stealing the laundry detergent or whatever, and his son is like making fun of the cop or making fun of the security guard for trying to stop him. Is that what we're looking at?
Thoughts on stealing of the shampoo from Walgreens? Yeah, I saw this. This is so fucking stupid, dude. Like, just let people steal shit, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you? They're not hurting anybody. Like, that's unironically my take. Like, what is this? This is like actually dry snitching, dude. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, are they stealing from you? No, they're stealing from Walgreens. Like, what are you, Mr. Wall or Mr. Green? Like, why are you fucking doing that?
God, I hate him so much. God, he's so fucking stupid.
Capital of the world.
That's a big old knife.
So he has to hire a local guy to protect him and show him around. Now, walking around the town, Tyler says this.
The farm? Right over there.
Well, my guide was nowhere in sight. I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed. It turns out this guy was giving me a full tour of the community with unexpected hospitality.
All right, we're visiting the garden right now. A little baby young mango. Is this where you make the juice?
So I'm thinking, oh my God, Tyler's gonna get murdered. Hey, Tyler's in the murder capital of the world without his guide. Oh my God, he's gonna die. He's gonna get robbed. Seems pretty bad. But let's watch this interaction from a different
angle. Yeah. Fuck, wait. I'm sorry. One more son hate watch. Yes. Where the people were stealing, because they wanted to redistribute the goods back to their community. Oh my God, not this one. Fuck. Somebody has it. Somebody please find this for me. Fuck me, dude.
Angle.
Is this where you make the juice?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, so this is what we just tried.
Oh, okay. That's Tyler's cameraman. That's clearly the same thing going on. Where's this camera angle from? Oh, okay. That's Tyler's cameraman. That's clearly the same thing going on. Where's this camera angle from? Oh, it's almost like his guide was right there and took this footage, but Tyler had to sell it off. Is that his guide was nowhere to be seen in that Tyler?
Oh, no.
Tyler's
Is this where you make the juice?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, so this is what we just tried.
Oh, okay. That's Tyler.
Because this guy did another video. Damn.
There's cameraman. That's clearly the same thing going on. Where's this camera angle from? Oh, it's almost like his guide was right there and took this footage, but Tyler had to sell it off. Is that his guide was nowhere to be seen and that Tyler was going to get murdered?
Well, my guide was nowhere in sight. I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed.
Tyler's guide posted a 2-hour-long vlog of their entire day, and the guide was there the entire time. Tyler wasn't walking on his own about to get murdered. That was all just made up.
Well, my guide was nowhere in sight. I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed.
And this is just something where it's so small. But why do you have to lie about this? I walked around on my own in the murder capital of the world. Like, really, Tyler's dissing the guy that he's doing a horrible job and just left and disappeared. But he's right there. He's right there filming this footage from a different angle. You're literally just making shit up to just sell a narrative. That this place is absolutely the most despicable thing you've ever seen. Now, if he's willing to lie about something so small like this, to just really just amplify the violence and the crime in here, when he clearly doesn't see it around him, what else would Tyler lie about? Now, later on in this video, Tyler's walking around Jamaica in a clearly peaceful-looking town, and he's... What else would Tyler lie about?
What is this? Am I getting mind-fucked by the proportions, or is this AR-15, like, really big? Am I crazy? Is the guy smaller, or is it just photoshopped in? Or am I just mind-fucked because it's a thumbnail? I don't know. Okay.
On this video, Tyler's walking around Jamaica in a clearly peaceful-looking town, and he's asking all these people, how bad is the crime here? Am I gonna die if I walk around here? And clearly, no one's buying into it.
Think we'll die today?
No, that's it.
Not today?
That's it.
And that's not what he wants to hear. He has to amplify the violence and crime of where he's at. So while Tyler's looking around, he sees this truck, and he says this.
This is what you're talking about. There's bullet holes on that thing. We saw a beryllium truck. That's the equivalent of one of the trucks in the U.S. that carries the cash, which means that someone's probably planning to steal from it right now.
Bro. Oh, here's the song clip.
Okay. There's good stuff happening on the protest side always. Like, you only see the looting of Target. You don't see the redistribution of the goods that they took from Target back to the community. Like, because a lot of these neighborhoods are now turning into fucking food deserts where you have to drive 30 minutes to an hour to go get food.
Like, tell me you've never been to a single pork place in your entire life. Like, where do these people live that they have to drive 30 minutes in a city to go and find food? Like, one place in the entire United States where they have to drive 30 to 60 minutes to go and get food. And people are looting Targets to go and redistribute. What are they eating, the shoes? What are we even saying here?
If you live in those...
Are they redistributing scooters and bicycles so they can go and wheel themselves to a fucking Wendy's? Like,
where you have to drive 30 minutes to an hour to go get food. If you live in those neighborhoods, it's do shit, okay?
Nothing happened. Exy Frogs mauling you.
Okay? There's good stuff happening on the protest side always. Like, you only see the looting of Target. You don't see the redistribution of the goods that they took from Target back to the community.
Yeah, looting is never okay, though.
So there's bullet holes on the truck, and that means someone's planning to steal it right now.
There's bullet holes on that, which means that someone's probably planning to steal from it right now.
That's how bad it is. People are robbing the cars. They're robbing the bank cars. That's how bad it is here. But let's look at that car a little bit closer. Oh, wow, it looks like it was just kind of scratched. Now, I had to look in this a little bit more. The company that owns this is called Beryllium. And Beryllium just bought out a company called Guardsman. Guardsman, they're all based in Jamaica, has red trucks. So would it really be that the car shot up with bullet holes and they're continuing to use it? Or that the car was red, they wrapped it black, and the car scraped against something, and now it's there? Why do you have to lie about that? Why do you have to make up this insane narrative? Oh my God, there was a robbery in place and I was about to... That didn't happen, Tyler. This is all he does in his videos. He goes around and he preponders at the crime and all of the...
Yeah, true. Why would you shoot at an armored truck? That's a good point. I mean, I'm sure people have, but like, what are you, stupid? Bullets are expensive. It's Jamaica.
These horrible cities that he visits. Is that really journalism? Is that really this unbiased truth that you tell? Like these people in this video, the tour guide that you're with, he's just trying to live his life. He's trying to do better. But you come into his country and just absolutely shit on it for like 40 minutes. It's disgusting. I don't know how you could do that. And this guy, if you go on his YouTube channel, all of the comments from underneath his video where he hung out...
Oh, shoot. That's true. This just reminds me of the temple. How many right-wing grifters do this? His original Swedish footage, when he gets to his car and the car doesn't turn on immediately and he's like, oh no, did the government sabotage our vehicle? Bro, what do you do? What are you talking about? He tries to lie and say that like the cops are following him here or whatever. God, this whole thing was so cringe. Okay, we want to do it.
Out with you, Tyler, for 2 hours are like, I don't trust this guy. This guy's a snake. This guy made our place look so bad. And the guide is like trying to defend. He's like, no, Tyler's actually a good guy. He helped me get views and subscribers and stuff. And it's like, that's so disgusting that you're making this guy subtly, you know, you're not asking him to defend you, but essentially he's wanting to defend you because you did give him a little bit of clout. When you come into his country and just shit on it for 40 minutes. Like, what the fuck, dude? But it doesn't end there. Later on in this video, Tyler is walking around the street of all of the escorts, ladies of the night's walking around. And then Tyler sees this restaurant. And Tyler says this.
A lot of prostitutes out here. This is one of the hotels where the ladies get brought to have sex with the customers, the Johns. This is called the Pirate Ship Seafood Restaurant. I guess that's just a front, or seafood restaurant by day, prostitute brothel hotel.
Are their lives really this boring that they're doing danger tourism to feel that they're in a movie? Holy shit. No, all of this is in the service of placating the views that you already have. It's part of that media apparatus, right? So I have a feeling about a thing and I need like more stuff in my environment to reinforce that feeling. Since I don't ever go there, I don't interact with it directly. So that's the, yeah. So like the, if you can think of any policy thing, I guess if you're a new content creator, you're trying to find new content, think of any policy thing or description of reality that conservatives believe in, and then think that that might be wrong, but then think of how you can make content about it, and that would be like a free 500,000 view video. Like imagine, so what's the thing that we believe that conservatives think that's hard to prove, right? Probably we can say like global warming, climate change, right? So think of like a fucking okay, well, we think that climate change is fake. They're saying climate change is real. Maybe this is a thing that's hard to immediately prove or disprove. So then the idea would be, let's go to like the hottest place on the planet and see how many people we can film wearing like long sleeve shirts to show that like climate change is fake. And then that would be the whole video. Like, look, they said that the climate was changing, getting warmer, but these people are having no issues. And then you get a couple people who's like, oh no, the weather's nice out. It's been a nice season. And then that's your video. And you're like, boom. And then now you're like feeding into the media environment where people are like, well, climate change isn't really happening. I was like, well, what about like all this data? And they're like, no. Like, and now you can pull this out of your memory of things. Like this guy literally went to, Hottistan, where it's supposed to be the hottest city on earth. And those people like are literally wearing jeans and long sleeve shirts, and they said that the weather's fine there. So no, I don't believe that's true. It's basically
Hell, at night, a little bit inconspicuous at first glance, but in actuality, people are getting banged in there for $15 US.
So Tyler just walking around, sees this restaurant and sees that the lights are on, and
so do you think this is an example of the trolling concept where people just play a role to gain popularity, or is it part of a bigger scheme? I don't know if I would say it's a part of a bigger scheme. Like the beauty of problem solving for some things is that with a lot of small pieces that have very simple programming on their own, they can contribute to a seemingly much more complex macro environment. So like an ant doesn't know, I think, what a bridge is. I don't even know if an ant can conceptualize a bridge. However, due to like some very, very, very basic programmed behavior, they're capable of constructing bridges out of their bodies to ferry things from one location to the next, right? This like emergent complex behavior is emerging from a whole bunch of like simplistic things that are working underneath. So for these types of media environments, the idea is basically, okay, I know that people think this thing about this place. That's the conclusion. I need to go and film whatever I can so that I can edit a documentary to feed into that because that's where the viewership is. That's basically what it is, right? If you were to go and film the same thing, like Jamaica, murder capital of the world, or not, and then the whole thing is like, well, here we are, we're actually just hanging out. It's actually pretty boring here. There's nothing going on. No, why would anybody watch that? You're challenging people's preconceived notions. It would only feed into like a fan base that would probably already think that. So people on the left, now your right-wing people are upset and they're going to accuse you of doctoring footage or not showing the truth. People on the left hate you anyway, so why even feed into it? So you're always, when you're this type of human being, you're always shopping for your, you're just trying to build footage around a preconceived idea already, basically. You're going in with the end already in mind, if that makes sense.
Assumes that, oh my God, that's where all the people are getting fucked in there, man. It's just fucking grimy. It's a brothel. It's the dirtiest place you've ever seen. Yeah, that's where it's happening at. Tyler, this is a Christian catering restaurant that does weddings. Why the fuck would you just make up a lie about this? For what? Like, what is the story that you're trying to tell? Oh, how shitty it is? I don't think you have to disparage a Christian catering restaurant for weddings.
Wait,
Christian
what?
catering grimy. It's a restaurant and sees that the light
there for $15 US. And inconspicuous at first glance, but in actuality, people get banged in there for $15 US. And
so Tyler just walking around, sees this restaurant and sees that the lights are on and assumes that, oh my God, that's where all the people are getting fucked in there, man. It's just fucking grimy. It's a...
Do you think that it comes off as more malicious than it is, though? Like, imagine being Jamaican and seeing this. Yeah, but everybody views themselves as just like a small cog in the machine. Nobody actually views themselves as having responsibility for the situation in and of itself. They all see themselves as part of a smaller cog that's just like doing a thing, and it's not them who are like responsible necessarily for the thing itself. There was the Federalist 15, the Hamilton obsesses a lot over this idea about when people are in groups of people, they act stupid, basically. And how do you counteract that while still having groups of people, right? You have to have a federal government, you have to have state governments, and you need people to act in union with each other. But also factions is what he refers to them as, like political parties, I guess, is what they would become, or things like this. People can start doing really dumb things. But like this diffusion of responsibility is a really important, I think, explainer for how people act in these environments without feeling any sort of moral culpability for what they're doing, right? Like he's just reinforcing an opinion that almost everybody knows is true and everybody believes it's true, and you know other people are doing it. So
brothel, it's the dirtiest place you've ever seen. Yeah, that's where it's happening at. Tyler, this is a Christian catering restaurant that does weddings. Why the fuck would you just make up a lie about this? For what? Like, what is the story that you're trying to tell? Oh, how shitty it is? I don't think you have to disparage a Christian catering restaurant for weddings and say it's a brothel. And the dumbest part about this is, like, you know, Tyler makes like two things. He's like, one, it's a brothel. Two, it's an actual restaurant. And then it's a brothel at night. Like, you can't just say like, oh, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Which
mob mentality, but then conversely, there's the wisdom of the crowd. So which one applies? These two things are answering different questions. The wisdom of the crowd has to do with, I think, like groups of people honing in on some analysis of a problem that accurately accounts for how most people on average think about it, maybe, or what might be a thought about it, which is almost tautological. Groups of people will tell you essentially on the aggregate what groups of people think about a thing. But mob mentality has nothing to do with an individual taking action in a group of people or explaining individual psychology. I think these are addressing different things.
We're going to go into that later. That's a whole other can of worms. Either way, in that situation, it's a brothel. But you don't know that, Tyler. The thing is like, this is in a country where they're trying to rebuild, and you're just shitting on the people there for no reason. I'm surprised the guy didn't stop you and say, what the fuck are you talking about? You're literally just making this shit up. Why would you do this, Tyler? Oh, because you're trying to get clicks and views by making whatever area you're in the shittiest place ever.
You're informing people about current events, topics that the broader public needs to be aware of, and I don't even think we necessarily stand for something besides the search for truth and putting things out there on both sides, even if one of the sides is controversial or pisses someone off.
So let's go later on in this video. Now, Tyler's talking to some transsexual prostitutes and asking them all about the business, and you can see his guide right there. And then all of a sudden, two black guys come up to rob him.
Out of nowhere, two armed muggers came over to rob me and my cameraman and barely spared us, only after recognizing Jamaica walk by as he yelled, "Bumbleclat" in the distance. They told us to turn the cameras off, and instead of robbing us, they agreed to be interviewed if we brought them some cash.
Seems pretty scary. So these thugs let Tyler go withdraw cash from the ATM. They literally let them get in a car and go withdraw cash, and then come back to the spot.
We're basically being extorted right now in real time to where we have to go get some cash, or we run the risk of Fabian getting murdered and killed on the streets one day for counting them. Let's go get robbed.
So two guys that rob you at knife point let you get in your car to go drive to the ATM while they stayed there, and then you come back with about $150 and then convince them to do an interview on camera when you're holding a $3,000 camera that you're filming all this with. Who Who's gonna believe this, bro? Who would believe this? That really, you convinced the robbers to give you an interview. Yeah, Tyler, I'm convinced that some guy with a beer gut and a Doldorf's kitchen knife is, oh my god, they're gonna kill you. Tyler, if you really thought they were gonna kill you, wouldn't you just drive away? Why would you go to the ATM and then come back to try to get an interview? Like, what the fuck are you thinking, dude? Tyler even makes it a point to say, we didn't set this up, we didn't plan this.
So we have to get some cash right now because we spent all of our money interviewing prostitutes, not because we prearranged this, but because they were going to mug us.
Why would you say that? If you really were getting robbed at knife point, I don't know if you would go like this.
Whoa. So that's a big old knife.
I'm getting robbed in 4K, bro. Oh, look at your gun. Look at your knife. How big it is, bro. There's no way that actually happened. Now, for this one, I don't have any hard evidence of this being fake, but considering that Tyler's willing to fabricate footage and just make up shit in his videos, I wouldn't put it past him to maybe fabricate this entire situation. But what about what Tyler doesn't tell you in his videos? That could be a little bit important too. Now, Tyler put out this video, I investigated if George Bush did 9/11. Fucking insane topic.
Wait, what? What did he do? What did that investigation look like?
But let's get into it. Now, Tyler says he meets up with a first responder on 9/11.
What if I talk to a first responder on 9/11 who was the New York Fire Commissioner? Let me introduce Chris Joya.
And we're led to believe, wow, this guy fought the fires on 9/11, but now he believes it was actually bombed, that it wasn't the planes. That guy sounds like he has a lot of credibility.
So it's impossible for a building to collapse near free fall speed.
He's like the Dar Man of like documentaries.
And increase
without the controlled demolition.
But Tyler leaves out a couple little details. This guy isn't a firefighter. He's a construction worker who volunteered on 9/11. He's a volunteer firefighter. Tyler says he was there on 9/11.
But what if I talk
volunteer?
I can't speak at all to how New York works. However, I think that there are places where that is how the fire departments work, right? Like it's a volunteer fire department. Everybody works other jobs, but people volunteer for it. So I don't know if this is necessarily contradictory. Like it says Franklin Square Fire Department is a volunteer fire department. Some cities, I think they just have like volunteer fire departments. That's what it is. So I don't think this is necessarily contradictory. He might not know that, but that's fine.
On 9/11, he's a volunteer firefighter.
Kyle McKenzie says New York City is not volunteer. That would make sense though. For super large cities, maybe not. Yeah, but
Tyler says he was there on 9/11.
But what if I talk to a first responder on 9/11?
The guy literally says he wasn't there until 4 days after.
You were on site that day.
I was working across the river doing my construction job, and then the fire department got called to duty to assist. Within a couple of days, we wound up down at ground zero.
But
sorry.
This is just small potatoes. Now, during this video, the man talks about the bombing, how they did it, but he doesn't reveal who did it, which would be a little bit important. Now, the man brings up these people did it.
These people that did it don't even care about them.
Who would these people be? Well, Tyler doesn't say.
No wonder so many people died on 9/11. If it took the first responders 3 days to get there, holy shit. Yo, I am an FDNY firefighter. What is that? First District of New York firefighter? No, Fire Department of New York firefighter. This guy is not a firefighter who was there on 9/11. I also don't know if you've got like these smaller fire departments. Are these guys considered first responders? I guess, or no, any firefighter would be a first responder, right? It's not like they schedule their things, right?
The video, nor does Chris Goya. We could go online to this man's organization, the Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. They currently have a federal lawsuit for believing that 5 dancing Israelis blew up the World Trade Center. But Tyler just leaves this in.
To be fair, they just think they were celebrating it being blown up. Not that they blew it up themselves. Or maybe they do. I don't know. The dancing Israeli thing is such a stupid fucking meme.
Now, because clearly if we knew this guy believed Israel blew up the World Trade Center, we probably wouldn't take him seriously. But I mean, it's all good. It's all in the name of just a little bit of clicks and views. A fun little conspiracy video. And Tyler is so insidious in this video because he's literally leading you 99% of the conspiracy theory, but that 1% of who did it, Tyler doesn't say. So for someone that gets invested in this, you're going to go all the way through, and then if you just go online, you could find out yourself. 5 dancing Israelis, the lawsuit is still happening. But what other details does Tyler leave out? Let's go to his video. I investigated the city where you legally must own a gun.
That's me turning myself into the police in Kennesaw, Georgia, where every head of household by law must own a gun. But does everyone here actually own a gun?
Now Tyler drives down to the town and says, I want to visit the antique store that has the law in writing.
You're hearing from the people. I drove downtown to an antique store to see if I could find the law in writing.
So Tyler goes to the antique store, he sees the law in writing, he's talking with the shop owner, they go outside and smoke a cigarette, and then Tyler purchases a bag of assault rocks and a bunch of other items. So much stuff that Tyler needed a bag from this so-called antique store. But Tyler fails to mention some other items this antique store sells. Niglet repellent, a Niglet scalp, minstrel show outfits, and a rack of KKK uniforms worn by ex-members. These are actual photos from inside the store. This isn't a antique store. This is a KKK memorabilia shop that Tyler passed off as a antique shop. Now, do you think supporting a store like this might come off as maybe a little bit racist? A store that literally sells Niglet repellent? I would say a little bit so.
So does that only work on the children? Is that what that means, or?
But Tyler specifically leaves this detail out because he knows it's bad. I mean, hell, he bought so much stuff from this place that he needed a bag to take out everything he bought.